你讲贪污，全世界美国有没有贪污？
美国，
世界最大的贪污
是吗？
当然，搞得世界大崩溃是什么来的？就是世界，就是美国那边开始的。我在美国接受访问，人家问我，我也是这么讲。现在我们中国强盛，所有人都拿我们中国来做问题，我们自己人都不支持自己的国家，谁支持自己的国家？我们知道我们自己国家很多问题，我们关起来讲，对外我们国家是最好的。
Hey, what's up, peeps? Jazz Braganza here. What's next? My intention for this video this morning was regarding the situation going on in Cuba right now. You have an uprising to the likes we haven't seen in quite a few years in Cuba. As Hollywood continue to kiss the ass of Cuba. You had like I said, the uprising going on right now as we speak, because they just want freedom. They're tired of living like it's 1955. And you got President Dementia putting out tweets that, well, it's because of COVID, the reason why they're rising up. No, moron, it's because they're tired, because they want freedom. They're tired of the communistic garbage that has been spewed on that country for pretty much, I don't know, since its existence. But that's a longer video. And I will get to that. But disappointment, embarrassment, shock. I think it pretty much covers it all. Notice I didn't say wokeness. Let's take a look. Story number 1. This comes out abounding in the comics. Jackie Chan expresses desire to join the Communist Party of China, claims that, quote, he can see the greatness of the CPC. Now, before you guys explode, I read the story and it's disappointing. It's very disappointing. Legendary martial artist superstar Jackie Chan, known widely in the West for Rush Hour film franchise. I think he's known in the West for a lot more than that, just me, only because I've watched so many of his movies, recently expressed his desire to join the Communist Party of China, claiming that, quote, he can see the greatness of the CPC and how promising its future looks. The news regarding Chan's pro-communist views comes from the Global Times, who reported that Chan had been invited to a symposium on Thursday in Beijing, which invited Chinese film insiders to speak and share their thoughts in regards to the Communist Party 100th anniversary. Quote, I can see the greatness of the CPC and it will deliver what it says. Interesting. And what it promises in less than 100 years. But only in a few decades. Expressed the renowned martial artist before declaring, I want to become a CPC member. According to the outlet's report, the action star also said that it was, quote, impressed by the resilience and spirits of the 8th Route Army, military force that under leadership of CPC fought the Japanese invaders during the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression in 31 and 45, yada, yada, yada. Excuse me. This is the first time that the actor has offered such words of admiration to the Chinese government. In January 2013, Jackie Chan not only unapologetically praised communist China, but he also took the time to blast the country that basically launched him into stardom, deeming the United States to be the, quote, most corrupt country in the world. Quote, the new China, the real success has been made in the past dozen years, Chan stated during the near decade-old interview. Our country's president also admits that they have the corruption problem and some other stuff, but we are making progress. We can see our country is continuously making progress and learning. If you talk about corruption, the entire world, the United States, has no corruption. When the interviewer asked Chan whether he means America, the actor replied with, the most corrupt in the world, end quote. When asked by the interviewer if he was being serious, Chan didn't hesitate to continue bashing America. Of course. Where does the great breakdown, financial crisis, quote, come from? It started exactly from the world, the United States. He asserted. When I was interviewed in the U.S., people asked me, I said the same thing. I said that now that China has become strong, everyone's making an issue of China. If our countrymen don't support our country, who will support our country? That I agree with. That part I agree with. Chan also added, we know our country has many problems. We can talk about it when the door is closed to outsiders. We should say our country is the best. That's right, in the quite rich environment, especially coming from a man who wouldn't be anywhere nearly as widely as known as he is today, or at a time when the interview took place, for that matter, had it not been for the opportunities that the land of the free gave him. My thoughts. The fact of the matter is that this is very disappointing, and this is very embarrassing for him. But the fact of the matter is that Jackie Chan, now at, I think he's like 65, 66, at this point, he's not at the peak of his powers anymore. If this were about 10 years ago, yeah, he was. When he made that comment back in 2013, even back in 2010. But, like I said, it's very embarrassing. The fact of the matter is that Jackie Chan, who is a legend, as is Chuck Norris, as is Bruce Lee, I think both of those contemporaries would be embarrassed for his comments. Even Bruce Lee, in rare interviews, never praised not his country of birth, because Bruce Lee was born here in America, in San Francisco, but he never praised China over the U.S. because he knew, even though the U.S. rejected him in Hollywood, Bruce Lee knew where his bread was buttered, and that was the United States. When he called them back, when Warner Brothers called them back to do Enter the Dragon. So, but like I said, this is very embarrassing for Jackie Chan, and it's sad as a fan of his who has his movies, who's watched his movies over the decades, for him to slam the United States. But then again, that was a 2013 interview. But then again, when you are praising the Communist Party of your land of birth, and knowing what went on in Hong Kong, and knowing what goes on in Hong Kong right now, when you have those who are protesting for freedom, who are holding up American flags, who are singing the national anthem, that is who you should be supporting. Jackie Chan, really, like Clint Eastwood and like older veteran actors, really, he's got nothing to lose if he says, you know what, the fact of the matter is China's Communist Party is just that, it's communist. It basically will not allow freedom to its people. Its human rights violations are atrocious. But he won't say that, and that's sad. That is truly sad, and I'm embarrassed for him. I'm embarrassed for him. I love the guy, I love his movies, but to me, sadly, he's a joke. He's a joke and a clown. And I never, ever, ever thought that those words would ever cross my lips. This was going to be a multi-video. This was going to be a story video. But yeah, I'm just going to let this stand on its own. I'm going to let this stand on its own. And let me know what you think. I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.